Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here and welcome to a mod review, spotlight, and customization video on a brand new truck that Banks just recently wrapped up in SpinTires MudRunner. This is the full release build of his personal 05 Powerstroke. This truck has a few different options on it, but it also comes with two different versions. As you can see here, we have the version with hostile wheels and we have the version with forces. Now, I personally tend to switch between these two because, as you can see, the one on Hostiles has proper MTs, and then the one on Forces has more street tires focus. These look like Nitto 420s, and these look like, what are they, BFGs? Do they say? Actually, yeah, they are BFGs. I actually guessed right on that one. But anyways, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the loads that these trucks can carry, the customization between the two, and I'm going to be building one and then building the other, and then we'll also be doing a little bit of hauling to demonstrate what these trucks are like when it comes to hauling different loads. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get out of free cam and jump into our first truck, which is going to be the one on Forces. So go ahead and get into our standard camera, and as we can see right off the bat, one of the first upgrades that we can do to this truck, as the game decides to freeze on me, is the car trailer. Now, the car trailer can carry a 4-point load of, which is a water tank. It can also carry 5,000 liters of fuel, 4,000 repair points, and 4 garage points, so you could actually use this effectively on a objective-based map to unlock garages if you wanted to. You can also fit a vehicle on that trailer, so it's not just for game-driven loads. It's also for loads that you might want to carry based on different vehicles if you wanted to do like an RP type mission or whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and remove the car trailer for now. We also have access to fuel and tools, which gives you 1,500 liters of fuel and 3,000 repair points, which is actually a really cool looking setup, actually. So once you take that out, and keep in mind, that will prevent you from installing all of the rest of the upgrades in the back. This upgrade, the SAE 300, gives you 1,000 liters of fuel, capacity anyway, 3,000 repair points, and 4 garage points. So if you basically want nearly the exact same capacities as the trailer, but you don't want to pull the trailer, you have this as an option and you can still unlock a garage. Now, you also have the option of the sled deck, which the sled deck is very, very cool. The sled deck can also carry like a load of water, but I have my, not necessarily doubts about that, but I just want to see that load for myself. And then last but not least, we have the toolbox, which once you put the toolbox in the back, it's just your standard toolbox, carries 50 liters of fuel, 3,000 repair points, and 4 garage points. So before we take a look at the car trailer or anything like that, I'm actually going to go ahead and hook up not really hook up, but equip the sled deck, and I'm going to start the truck up and go over to the nearby, oh, there we go. Come on, get started. Now, the cool thing about this truck in terms of sound is the fact that the sounds were actually recorded from Banks's personal Powerstroke. So that I find really, really cool, and not a lot of people do it because not a lot of people have access to the actual truck that they're creating in the game to record sounds for it. But what's really cool about this one, like I said before, is that he has access to it because it's his own personal truck, and so he actually was able to get really in-depth into the detail of the sounds in terms of the turbo sound, the way that, the way the truck revs up and things like that. So, wow, even with the street tires, I mean, this thing, like in true Banks fashion, the truck is very, very fast, especially in comparison to other trucks, which is not really, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just kind of there. Let's see, need to install car trailer. Snowmobiles. Yes. So as you can see, you can load up snowmobiles if you so desire. And what's cool about this is that if you wanted to actually load up the snowmobiles and load up the trailer with the water tanks, I believe you could do that as well and combine everything together. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing back to the garage and then customize the other truck, or well, really the same truck with different wheels and tires. And that one is going to be our tow rig. I will say the truck looks really, really good with the snowmobiles on the back. But we're not really on a map where the snowmobiles would be much of use. But nonetheless, it's really, really cool to have them there on the back. And it makes me very hopeful for mods like this to come into SnowRunner. Because who knows? Someone might actually make a mod for SnowRunner way later on down the road where you have a sled deck with either 1 or 2 snowmobiles on it that you could actually drive off of the sled deck and then out into the snow. That would be just about the coolest thing that anybody could do for SnowRunner in terms of mods. So I'm going to go ahead and park this guy over by the fuel tank right here and shut it down. And we're going to go ahead and swap over into the other one real quick and grab the car trailer along with some stuff in the back. Now, as you guys have seen before, I mean, the water tank is a pretty common load, so we're not really going to throw that on the car trailer. It's not really a common load per se. Common's the wrong word, but it's been used on quite a few of Banks' trucks at this point. So we're going to go ahead and toss a toolbox in the back, and then we're going to go ahead and spawn in something for this truck to haul. Now, spawning in something for this truck to haul may be a little bit of a task because I want to make sure that I don't spawn in something that's like, let's see. I just want to make sure I don't spawn in something that's too big or too huge because, like, I have such a massive list of mods here. It's, like, absolutely ridiculous at this point. But let me go ahead and go all the way down to the bottom, like, all the way down to the bottom. Any of these would probably, well, none of those will work. Those might work. What about this? Hey, that would be super cool. That would be super cool. I'm down for that. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be really, really cool to haul with this. I really hope it doesn't crash the game. It's always like a massive, like, not necessarily worry, but it is a bit of a, it's like you have a bit of a moment when you're like, is this going to work or is it going to crash the game? It's always a toss-up with a mod that you haven't used in a super long time. So real quick, let me see if, like, oh my god. Yo, that's super cool. There's a lot of add-ons for this thing, but it's like, what? A crane cart? All right. I never actually dove into the mods on this thing. Or the add-ons, I should say. That's, like, super deep. Okay. I'm down for that. But let's not worry about the modifications you could do to that thing right now, because we have a Powerstroke with a trailer to load that old Jeep onto. What's cool about this is it's a load that I could actually see this truck hauling in real life, like, for sure. Also, cool thing about the free cam is that you pop into free cam, bring yourself around over here to the back of the truck, and then you can go into advanced mode and watch the ramps go down as if you were, you know, basically setting it up in real life. Super cool stuff. Go back to your standard camera, swap over to the Jeep, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and back the Jeep up. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, the wheel actually works. That's so freaking cool. There we go. God, this Jeep is small. I mean, you never really realize how small these old Jeeps are until you stand right up next to one. I mean, I had a 73 CJ5 for a little while, and that thing felt super small. I mean, this thing looks like it's probably even smaller than that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually move myself right back there. Oh, crap. Started the wrong truck. And now we're going to go ahead and pull those ramps back up. Not down. Back up. Please. Wrong way. Had a bit of an issue there. No big deal, though. So we can go ahead and turn advanced mode off. And now we're ready to go ahead and drop this thing off at a lumber area. Not that it needs to go specifically to a lumber area, but wow, okay. Didn't need that yield sign. That yield sign was not necessary. At least my Powerstroke decided it wasn't necessary. No big deal. I mean, that 35 mile an hour sign isn't necessary either. God, that Jeep's so small. I just love the fact that you can actually haul, like, fairly realistic loads, though. I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, literally, this could be basically a mission where you could bring your Jeep home. You know what I mean? Like, you could go find a Jeep out in the wilderness, bring it home, and like, you know, it could be like a little project Jeep. Like, oh my god, I would be totally up for that. Totally up for that. Like, I mean, I've thought about doing MudRunner RP for, like, a really long time, And I don't know if it's something that everybody would be into. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if MudRunner RP is something that you guys would be interested in. I don't know if it would be or not, but if it is, you know, we could even go as in-depth as, like, you know, starting off in a fairly basic truck and then, you know, quote-unquote, like, buying a house, right? You know, buying a house, having the house where we live, and then, like, you know, we could go find a Jeep out in the woods and, you know, like, restore it or turn it into a crawler. It'd be really cool. I mean, we would have to kind of intertwine a bunch of different mods in order to do it. But if we did do something like that, I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, since this isn't considered an actual load by the game, we can totally pass through the block post. I don't know why I, like, stumbled across my words of what a block post was there, but you can drive it fairly realistically. You just have to kind of keep your foot out of the throttle, because if you get into the throttle, it gets a little crazy. It does remind you that it is a Banks truck. And again, I do not mean that in a bad way, but it's got a lot of power. These trucks have a crap ton of power. And if going fast is something that you want to do, I mean, have at it. You're more than able to with these things. But we're going to go ahead and drop this Jeep off here at this old lumber mill real quick. Drop those ramps down. Don't really need to drop them down all the way. It is a Jeep after all. Start her up and back her down. Ramps are almost on the ground anyway. Alright, we'll go ahead and park you in here, bud, and you will be good to go. You will be 100% good to go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and swap back into the Powerstroke, and I'm actually probably going to leave the trailer here, because now it's getting towards the end of the video, and so it's now time to attempt some things that are a little bit more on the outlandish side, because these trucks, like I said before, have gobs of speed, and I want to see what happens if I do this. Well, that happened. Not exactly the outcome I was desiring, but you know, we can always recover. We can always recover, and we can always, you know, learn from our mistakes and try not to do that again. But, oh God, that was weird. All the sound went away, and I was like, is the game dying? Is the game literally, like, having an attack? Well, we really only have one more thing to test out on this truck, and it is its mudding capabilities. So, I'm going to go ahead and head straight for the swamp. And we're going to... Whoa! I'm going to keep it in high and just see how long it goes before it gets stuck. And when I say stuck, I mean starts to spin in high. And it's actually already gone farther than I thought it was going to go. So, we're definitely ahead of the game on this one. Whoa! Alright. The mud grip is definitely up there. Holy moly, guys. Well, she rips in the mud, that's for sure. God, I'm impressed. Throw this thing into a swamp and she just takes it and goes. Wow, it made it all the way across the entire swamp with absolutely no complaints whatsoever, and then drove up the other side. I mean, no complaints about traction, no complaints, and I never took it out of high and never lifted off the throttle. So, at the end of the day, is it capable? Yeah. It's dumb capable. It's way more capable than, frankly, it has any business being. But at the end of the day, you know, it is a really fun truck. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that engine there. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that truck review there. And if you guys would like to check this thing out, I'm pretty sure this thing is available for public use. And if it is, I'll go ahead and link it in the description box below. But if it isn't available, then there won't be a link down there, but I'm pretty sure it is available. I'm going to go ahead and make sure, but if it is available, there'll be a link down there in the description box below. But if you all enjoyed, make sure to click that like button. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe for more. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Talk to you guys later.